Hey, delighted to have you with us as always. So today we're going to talk about should you take on a permanent contract from one of your freelance clients. So how this comes about is you'll be working ideally with a number of freelance clients, and over a period of time, one of your clients, perhaps you're delivering fantastic results, you've built up a lot of trust and credibility and really good working relationship with said client. And what can happen is over time, they'll become almost more reliant on you as a part of their team. And they may decide that for their business, it makes sense to offer you a permanent contract and a permanent role, maybe even employing you. So going back to an employed role rather than being self-employed with the specific company. Now, this is an interesting proposition because I've spoke to many freelancers, past and present, who have come up with this problem, but it's a good problem to have, right? It means you've got a good client relationship and they're offering you a permanent role. Now, my view on it, and after speaking and seeing people who have taken both the decision to accept the offer and not to accept the offer, is it's quite heavily weighted in the client or the business's favor, not yours. Now, you've started off as a freelancer, and I've talked in other videos about how the benefits of freelancing can be some of the freedom in terms of when and how you work, etc. So if you've protected that, which again I always mention is an important thing to do because you can lose some of the freedoms of freelancing if you don't work to protect it. So if you've protected that and now a client is asking you to commit fully to them on a permanent contract, potentially even full-time as an employee, as I say, that seems to me very heavily weighted in their favor. Now, you've been doing a fantastic job. So obviously it's a compliment and it means that they are pleased with what you've been delivering up to now. So continuing along the way you have been doing, presuming you're happy with that, seems like a good solution for both parties. The only benefit of doing so seems to be for them. You could argue that you could have some more security, but if you went freelance in the first place, you're presumably comfortable without that confirmed security. And in my view, there's less security in working directly with one business than having a freelance organization that whether you're working with 5, 6, 7 clients, depending on whether you're retainer based or project based, whatever it might be. But you're committing to one business, one client in essence. So if something changes for them, maybe the person who has made the decision to bring you in leaves, right? The whole dynamic can change and you've got rid of all your other freelance clients and gone all in on one. So you're opening yourself up to a significant amount of risk that you just don't need to do, in my view. And again, speaking to people who have come up with this challenge, it's quite rare that if you basically say no and say, look, unfortunately, thank you for the offer, etc. Be very polite about it and professional, but you want to continue on the basis that you are. Almost certainly they will continue working with you because the fact that they offered you the role in the first place means that they're happy with the situation. Now, maybe they're doing it because they need to bring in somebody full time, for example, and that's different. So they could look to replace you in that sense, but that won't be easy. And they may still need your freelance support to assist with the person they have in-house, etc. And even if not, you end a very good relationship, get your case study, get your testimonial from the client, and you move forward. So I've seen too many people, I'm afraid, go into freelancing, build up a very nice sort of setup in business, build a really good relationship with one client. That client's become reliant on them, offered them a role, and they've given up everything and they've built to go and work fully on this client. And in some cases, it's worked out okay. And, thankfully for them at the moment, it's still going. But the risk of that is high, in my view. That if something changes, you've given up something you've built up. And obviously, as I said before, many people go freelance for freedom. That's one of the cited, often the number one cited reason on surveys, etc., of new freelancers. And it seems to me that you're going to be giving up some of that freedom by taking that decision. So you have to judge it on your own situation, your own. I know some people maybe go temporarily freelance because they couldn't find a role that was good for them, and this might be a nice solution if they want to go back into employment. And I'm not saying that can't be the case at all. But for those of you looking to, have the freedom, build up a freelance operation, just be mindful of this because it will crop up in your freelance career if you're doing good work. So something you need to think about. But of course, you need to make your own decision. My view is that you should not take that offer up. You should continue building your freelance business, thank the client for the offer, and hopefully continue working with them on the same basis as before.